In this episode, I'm going to make an organic basil pesto that we'll put over linguini, and we'll put some diced chicken breast in it. So first, let's start with the basil pesto. Our main ingredient, obviously, is going to be fresh basil. You can buy this in bunches from any store. I suggest you buy organic because they do use a lot of pesticides on leafy type vegetables and herbs. So you'll want to get 2 bunches from the grocery store. You might not use it all, but it's better to have a bit more basil than not enough. So once we fill this up with basil, you're going to add about 3/4 of a cup of olive oil. So we're going to add some fresh garlic. I suggest you use about 1 to 2 cloves. Again, it's going to depend on the size of the garlic. It's best to use fresh organic garlic. What I do is I cut several small slices just to make it easier for the food processor to chop it up. Okay, go ahead and put all those pieces in there. And we're going to go ahead and chop all this up right now before we add the finer ingredients to it. So you'll want the consistency to be that of a paste, but you also want some of the basil pieces in there. I'll show you in just a second. It's looking great. So you want your pesto to have about this consistency at this point. So let's go ahead and add our other ingredients in. So we're going to add about 2 pinches of the pine nuts. Now I feel like you can't ever get enough Parmesan cheese, but 2 or 3 pinches is enough. I kind of sneak in a bit more. Add more to taste. Now we're going to add just a bit of garlic salt. Again, this is our organic garlic salt. About 1/8 of a teaspoon is what you want. And we have our sea salt. We're going to add probably 1/8 of a teaspoon of sea salt as well. A couple of pinches if you don't feel like measuring. And the pepper, it's cracked pepper to taste, so add as much or as little as you would like. I would say about 1/8 of a teaspoon again. So this food processor my dad actually bought for me for 99 cents at a flea market. So you don't need expensive equipment to get the job done. And this basil looks perfect. So we're going to use a brown rice gluten-free pasta. This you can find at most organic type stores, and again the brands are all on the website so you can see what I'm using. We already have a rolling boil going. Just drop the pasta right in the center. Let it kind of fan out, and you're gonna go ahead and move it around until all the pasta is finally in there. Now you want this to get back up to a quick rolling boil, so sometimes I'll cover it back up and let the rolling boil come back and take the lid back off. This is the chicken from my basic chicken recipe. We're gonna go ahead and slice this up into several chunks. So we'll go ahead and put this aside until our noodles are ready. So we're going to take the pot off. We're finished boiling. And we're going to bring our pot over and pour it into our strainer. Now with this pasta, you need to make sure that you wash it under cold water until it is all cool. So once you rinse the pasta in cold water to make sure it's not going to stick, you're going to go ahead and take real hot water and run it over it one more time just to reheat the pasta. Right, now we're ready to put our whole meal together. So we're going to take our reheated pasta and we'll put them on the bowl. Just a little bit more. So we'll take some of our pesto that we made. And we'll spread it on top. We'll add a bit of our chicken that we diced up earlier. I like to add a little bit of pine nuts just because once you mix it all in, it tastes delicious. And then I've made some asparagus already that we'll go ahead and put on the plate. How I made this was with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and then I squeezed a little lemon juice, put it in the microwave in a microwave safe dish for about 2 minutes with a little bit of water. What we'll do to top it off, I love Parmesan cheese. So I like to put a little bit more Parmesan cheese on top of all of it. So we'll grate a bit of fresh Parmesan cheese. That looks great. And it even tastes great on the asparagus. And we'll take a little bit of our lemon, squeeze a little more juice onto the asparagus. We have our brown rice, gluten-free linguini pasta with our organic pesto on top, our chicken breast with a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and to top it all off, we have asparagus on the side. And there you go.